Hey everybody, it is January 14th, 2025, and this is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, um, making a video. I've been holding off on the videos. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I'm very sick from like radiation poisoning, and I'm having trouble talking because they're doing like sapping rituals. Like they've been torturing me with microwaves for so long. This contractor, and I just came from Pensacola. My parents live in Pensacola. This is my mom's stuff. I'm like staying at her place in Baton Rouge. Give me a second, cause like they've been battering my head with EMF, and I have a body area network that goes, teeth, ears, all the way down my gullet, down to my groin, my legs, and my hands. I didn't know I had such a big body area network when this was hitting me. So just be patient with me. I'm trying to get some stuff out here. I was making videos to kind of get help. Um, I want to say, like off the bat, my targeting situation like turned into something way bigger. Way bigger than just a targeting or just being hit with microwaves. It's a military slaughter now. My dad is being, murdered with this stuff. My mom is being affected. My brother's being affected. My whole extended family. The contractor on Voice of Skull, threatens to murder my family all the time. It's become more of a part of not just the targeting system because nobody watches them. The police can't really stop them. I've talked to the sheriff's department in Pensacola, talked to the sheriff's department in Baton Rouge. They always send you to the sheriff's department because they kind of are a lot of. Well, I'm not going to go into that because I want their help. Like we need police's help, and we need them to know more about this. But it's like they've got, I came here from Pensacola, and they had just smashed up my spine because I have a biometric up at the top of my spine, the middle of my spine, and then near the sacrum at the bottom. That's three just in my spine, and then I have them in other places. And then they also have like cumulative remote stations like hitting me all at once. In here, there was like some foreign guys. They look Hispanic, and they've got like a big trailer like full of generators because they have generators to boost the power to whatever kind of weapon systems they have in the place. They've just shipped in a bunch of people. Like people are like living in the place that I am. Like they move in. I guess they get paid for it, and they accumulate weapon systems. I've tried to get help from the sheriff's department. The people above me are surveilling me. I guess they've gotten so bored, and I haven't been able to get help. My parents, like, their brains are being messed with, so they're under mind control, and they're like, we're not gonna help you out with money anymore. And you like when I went to Canada, they were like, it was $10,000, and like I went up to Canada, and my targeters almost started like World War III up in the Northeast Territories. They said that I had murdered children, that I was gonna blow up buildings, so they made it like this huge like false flag on me. And then I came back down, and they're like, my body cannot take any more torture. It just can't. Like my spirit is the only thing. Like my soul and God are the only thing. And right now they're like my heart. I think they started like what they started doing, and this is really embarrassing. But I guess I'm gonna say they got so bored. They're having sex on top of me in groups, and they use the voice of skull to like shoot the like they're fucking me in the back, right? So it's massive warfare. Like it's incredible. They're like hitting my heart right now. They're killing me. Like I mean, they're killing me. It's military warfare because nobody can stop them. So the guy has just compiled more and more people on top of my family, and he makes money from it, and contractors make money and stuff like that. Y'all can tell I'm having trouble. talking. They've done a lot more. They do Kabbalic, like satanic sex rituals on top of me because they're just, nobody cares or knows what this is, right? And so many people are being hit by it. My situation, it like really, they used me, they're using me to like they used me to build infrastructure in Canada. They used me to build infrastructure in the United States to like target more people. The guy is a complete psychopath who's done it. Like he's a murderer. Like he's murdered people before. He's like said it on the B2K and stuff. But he's trying to. This is the crazy part. He's so obsessed with me. He thinks he is me now. Like the guy, and this is this is gonna make me sound crazy, right? It's all put back on us. He thinks that he's taken my family's spirits and my personality because he's been torturing me and parasited, like hooked in with these microwaves for so long. So he actually thinks he's become me, and he's like funny now, like me, because he's a piece of shit. He still is a piece of shit, right? Um, I'm getting off track. I'm making this video, guys, because I need help. Like I've tried to speak out about this for 10 years. I wouldn't have if I could have gotten help. I don't think I would have gone online. I think it caused a lot of trouble for us because you get in these groups and there's just federal agents everywhere. I was naive about it. I was kind of just boom, just going in and just wanted to help people. I think we help people with my videos and stuff like that. Uh, but I paid a heavy price. I was then it was a vengeance kick, against me and my family, for speaking out. Big things in upper biology and the spirit and God in our lives has happened between me and this group, which it seemed very hopeful. About like a year and a half ago, it seemed like God had come into this group, with me being the target and them targeting, and he was trying to kind of show us that we're not so different and that we could help each other as Americans. But the one of the two guys just kind of used everything. It's a weird situation. It's hard to explain. Especially feeling like I do, and I kind of have a point to this video. I'd like to ask for help because my family is very mind controlled and hurt, and they don't understand. And I'm like, hey, like my mom just bought a new car, so she's giving me her old car, which is so great because my grandma's car was hit by an 18 wheeler, right, on the Dempster Highway. Somebody like unhooked the hood and it smashed the window and stuff like that, so the car's totaled. And my parents don't trust me, right? Like I was fighting a war against like vehicular stalking that was like floods of traffic up in the Northeast Territories of Canada. And then down here, the guy was calling like national emergencies in each state that I went through. And I'm like a medical target, right? I found out that like the day I was born, I had a biometric placed like near my head or near my groin area. And then they just kept popping in biometrics like my whole life. And they turned it into something where they're like saying that up in Canada they were saying I was going to like bomb a building or bomb a hospital or something like that. It's huge. It's like a huge like national false flag where this guy's trying to, and like if I ever like, because they, man, it's gone crazy. And you guys who know about spiritual warfare, like I guess my mind was pretty solid, my spirit was pretty solid for many years. Like with the targeting, it was the microwaves and the headaches, and I didn't realize that there was a spiritual aspect of these people. They've started to want to like um, to soul cook people and kind of like take attributes from their brain and stuff with the neuro weapons and the hive minding. It's gone like off the rails. Some of you may think that I'm nuts, right? Even you targeted individuals, but it's like been so long and they don't get caught that they just start, having sex on top of you and saying they're gonna like take your heart medicine and stuff like that. But I'm making this video. It's severe warfare, like many different groups. Like in the Meridian, I'm in the Meridian right now in Baton Rouge, and there are like several gangs of people with like generators and weapons. There's people above me. I don't know, like I won't go into that, but it's mass murder. It's like a military killing, like where they're trying to. And my family will not admit it. Like my mom and dad, they're just like, oh, we're getting old and stuff like that. It's very scary, very scary. I've always been capable. Y'all have seen me make videos, and I'm always capable of speaking out. But it's like some of this stuff has gotten so crazy, um, that I wouldn't even know how to tell you guys, because it's like stuff that human beings don't even know about, right? With higher biology and like actually like our Holy Spirit, our spirits that guide us. They've even abused that, right? They're trying to rape the spirit out of me. They say that on the B2K. I don't believe they can do it. I don't believe that the things that they've said they've done, but they believe, like the people on the microwave equipment are actually like, hey, we're raping the spirit out of your head and your heart, and I'm you now. Like, and he really believes this. He's not psyoping me. He's literally psychotic. But people let him do what he wants because it makes a lot of money and stuff like that. So making this video, let me gather my breath, and my heart is like chewed out because I had that stomach surgery, and I'm not sure, but I have like a biometric in my trachea here, and then one they put like in my chest, and they pump them towards my heart, and as you can see, I'm kind of pale, like my blood's not flowing right. They are trying to murder me, like in my bed here. Like like my mom got a new car, and then she's gonna give me her old car, and I was like, okay, can I go now? Because I was getting hit in Pensacola so bad, like in their back place, like they were hitting my spine, in my head, just the ringing sound, right? And I'm actually damaging the biometrics, but they're hitting the magnet so hard that it burns my hands. And they said they got the Marines or something to cook my magnet, so my magnet doesn't work as well. It's like a mass, like huge military buildup just on my family in a medical target, right? I was a medical target when I was a day old, and then when I was 12, when I had to go to Oshner because I got Crohn's disease from the actual EMF too. Um, but I wanted to make this video. I should have said it at the beginning. I need help. Like I need financial help to get out of the country. I don't want to say where I'm going now, but if y'all want to email me, if anybody wants to email me, and say like, where are you going? Where have you found out that it's kind of better? And I'm not even sure. Like I'm taking a risk, right? But I need help with some funds. If people can donate, if you have any extra funds, if you can donate to paypal.me/Vulcan Wolverine, because my parents are like, we're not going to help you anymore. They're like, you tried to get away from this in the Arctic, and we're not giving you any money to go to another country or anything. And it's like urgent, like I have to move, right? But my mom got a new car, and I was like, okay, well, Mom, let's go to Baton Rouge. I'll drive the car that you're gonna give me, and I'm so grateful. And you can drive your new car. She's like, no, we're gonna just drive. We're just gonna drive my old car. We're gonna leave the new car here. I'm like, oh no, because if I need to get out of here, right? We have one car. There, my parents are doing stuff like that all the time, and it's a spiritual thing. Like my family spirit has been affected, like something deep inside my family, and something above in our upper biology has been affected because they've been torturing and raping me so long. They've been doing this to my family, my mother and my father. And the people, the two guys. There are two guys in the contract. There are also some women in there, but they've said they set up, like, I won't go into all this, but they're having a lot of sex on top of me. So for a man, and I want to say this, because I don't care. Like I can have relationships and stuff like that, but they've gotten so bored, right? And they're going to the next level of like raping energy out of people, right? And I'm serious. Like this isn't a joke. This is not a joke. This is not a test. Um, it's hurting so bad. Like my ears right now are just like the ringing. I have like stuff on the ears right here in the back of the ears. I have something on the top of my spine, like right next to the duodenum on the brain. It really affects me. And then, like, I just went to a dentist. He put in these new teeth, and I said, now I'm targeted, so don't put anything in there that can conduct EMF, right? And he goes, "Oh no, we don't do anything like that here." And then he put the teeth, the new teeth and everything, and they immediately just started like it started buzzing up my head, right? Like he had put stuff, in there. Like every dentist or doctor, like cannot help me to stop this, right? But they'll put more biometrics in. It's massive. Like this is massive. This is a massive thing in our country, in the globe. There's a very huge spiritual aspect to me in my situation. I don't want to sound like an egotistical clown though, so I really have to think about everything that's happened, right? But right now, I want to make a video and just ask y'all from the bottom of my heart, like, please donate some money to me, because I want to get out of the country. My parents are they're mind controlled, so they don't, like, I tell them about this, I'm like, it's very serious, like, and I'm very serious with my parents. I don't scream or anything. I'm like, this is like warfare, and like, it wasn't my fault. It happened when I was a kid, and I need money. And they're like, my mom kind of like, I can watch the wheels turn, and she's like, we just spent money to get you up to Canada, and you didn't get away from it there, because they were doing like, motorcycle surveillance groups, like going to the next city and saying that I had murdered kids and everything like that. Um, like, unbelievable. Like, it's unbelievable destruction and terrorism. I mean, we live in a terrorist state in the United States. I'm ashamed of my country now. Like, the people in here, there's some people who have known about it for like 10 years. Like, I've been in here tortured, and it like all kind of came out because the lunatics that are contracting on me are just, they flooded this area with like weapons. They flooded the area with like mercenaries and stuff like that. And then they flooded people in who they don't belong here. They're like gangsters and stuff like that, like living in kind of a high class place that my mom picked out. um, I'm about to sell the other place that I lived in. Excuse me. And it's like make sure that you're really praying up. It makes a big difference because they are trying to steal people's like voice. They try and hit people in the throat. I have a huge biometric like up here, but it's in the back of my neck. Like it's like up against, because I got an X-ray. I'll try and show that X-ray on a video. But it's like in the back, hooked to the back of my neck on the spine. So it's like I put the magnet here or on the back, but it's hard to get to. So that one really messes me up. And the one in my chest messes me up too. I have a full body area network for medical collection of medical data, and some things that they wanted to do at Ochsner that they continued, and then I just fell into the hands when I went to Texas. It just moved over to a torture contractor, right? With the brain mapping and neuro weapons and everything like that. They kind of, the people that kill me or torture me, they kind of see themselves as like, and breakaway civilization. Like they see themselves as like we're the Neanderthals and they're the new Homo sapiens, and they murder and rape all the time. So they're not, you know, they're shit. They're absolute pieces of shit, but they think of themselves as like it's a new philosophy. That's what the guy on the V2K says. I'm like, you're murdering like Psycho, and he's like, it's just a new philosophy of like murdering all the time. I think they're actually, I think some people do it with their families and stuff, like their kids. They microwave people, definitely gang stalk with them. So it's mass evil, it's massive evil. But so I'm kind of waxing poetic. I'm in a lot of pain. If you can donate to me, I would really appreciate it. Because my body's not doing good. I've kind of been a little Wolverine in this, healing up all the time. Especially with, I have a powerful spirit in my family. God's been protecting me with my guardian angel, but they've made it so I'm sometimes a lump of meat and I can't really connect with the spirit. It's like I'm just kind of a lump of meat being tortured. Um, and if I can get to a foreign country, that like I plan on going to this place, and on the V2K, they're saying that they're making inroads into that place that doesn't really have a lot of targeting based on me, right? So, like telling my parents something like that when they don't even believe in the microwave torture, and I'm like, this dude, this contractor is like literally they're like trying to make new protocols off of me because I've been trying to get away and survived it so good. Um, and I'm a medical target. Like as a kid, I had biometrics put into me, and they like these people on the microwave weapons want to kill me, and they don't care, and they say that I've screwed up their lives because when I was the guy is saying like while he was torturing me for like 14 years or I don't know, there's two different groups I think. This last 14 years, I think it's split up into two groups. I don't know, it may be the same group, but he's saying that because he was torturing me, I was like taking energy from his family or cursing them. And so he's gonna get my family, he's gonna pay us back. But he's just been torturing me the whole time. So they're literally like they're in a psychosis where they just like kind of blame everybody for everything else while they're slaughtering people. And the weapons are very painful. Like I can take a lot of pain from Crohn's disease and from the torture for many years. Like I can take a lot of pain. It's like I've um, been tortured making the live streams while they're gutting me pretty much with this stuff. I hope you guys are doing okay. I really am just making this video to say kind of I'm in dire straits. It, crazy. Like I'm so thankful my mom's given me her old car because my car was like demolished, my grandma's car. And I'm so thankful to them. They help me even when they're in trouble, but like they don't understand how serious like they're my dad's being hit full force. Like he's being hit like on probably worse than me, and he's just like going to doctors all the time and thinking he's getting old, and he is being like filleted by this stuff because he almost died from this in 2014. But they will not admit it. Like my parents will not admit it. They, you know, I don't know if it's a thing where they know that something's going on and they're like, we need to just kind of be quiet as a family and it'll go away. But these people that are attacking us, like they'll slaughter whole families. They don't care. They have no mercy, because they're hiding. It's like that drone. It's the drone operator syndrome where they kind of see it as like a video game and they're not really seeing people's lives as real. So it's very dangerous. We know this, right? I'm saying stuff y'all know. Uh, and like they're not, I don't know, it doesn't even feel like they're hitting me with directed energy in the heart. They've connected because this group has been connected so long, and this is the danger here. This is a real danger, that such longevity of torture when someone doesn't die. These people have the neuro weapons and they kind of hook their heads to my head, and then they're constantly kind of hooked to me, and the spirit sees this as somebody in your group. So they've started when they have and it's really violent, like kind of animalistic screwing, I guess, like on top of me. My heart will hurt and my pineal gland will hurt, and it feels like it's using energy from my brain and my body even though I'm being raped, right? So massive rape. I don't know if any of you other target and visual experiences. This is the problem with making videos, right? Is I'm like, well, I talk about what happens to me individually, and it's like peak. It's like the worst target. It's like one of the worst targeting scenarios in on the continent. Like I'll say that factually, and you can believe me or not. Like I hate this, right? Because it sounds like I'm an egotist, like, oh, like I'm being targeted the worst, right? But it's true. It's true. They're coming up with new protocols of trying to get strong people who really don't do anything wrong, right? And so they're trying to like kind of fuck their, excuse me, to screw like the energy out of me, because when they've been hooked to me for so long that there's this narcissistic, involuntary connection to people in the group. So they're and this is serious. Like, I'm not every once in a while they screw on top of me. I'm talking about sometimes 24 hours a day, because these guys are psychotic. They're in a psychosis, and they only really have like kind of the logical part of their brain. They have no compassion or anything, and they're like sex addicts. So that's how they get energy. And like, so they brought it up to like monkeys, like kind of raping me like 24 hours a day, right? Sometimes it's a lot of it's V2K, but they actually do that. Admitting that, like, I don't know if I should do that. Like, I don't. I was making the video. I'm like, I should leave that part out where they're raping on top of me in these contractors, because a lot of it is V2K. People can say, well, they're just doing it to him V2K, and he's getting fooled or whatever, right? It's so, people can't get a handle on this. Haven't got a handle on this. These most evil people I've ever known of, make so much money and kind of just explore serial killing and mass murder and mass rape however they want to, with microwaves behind walls, behind doors. The people upstairs do it to me, and I've gone and knocked on their door just to go, hey, can I check in this corner? I'm getting hit with electronic warfare, and I just want to check, so I get peace of mind. They won't open their door, right? The people around me, like, I haven't even talked to some of these people. They have those things that you put on a safe. Like, you have a combination for a safe. Like, the guy next to me and the guy above me, uh, both have like safe combination things on their door, because they because they have equipment. They don't want anybody like going in there when they're not there. And this is all like, I'm trying, like, I was saying, I had a little bit of resource. I was going around the country, and then I went to Cancun and then Canada. So I was kind of like, I kept moving, and I thought I was going to be able to get away from it that way, and then I got stuck because I didn't have resources, right? I don't have any money. I get Social Security. It's very hard to work, like what they've done to my brain and my spine. Um, I hope you guys are doing better than that. I hope that me saying this stuff, like, I get worried about, like, okay, I'm gonna like talk about how bad mine is, and then some other targeters or something will make y'all's situations worse. But I've got to speak out somehow. So I'm trying to figure it out. Like, how do I just speak out about this? But y'all know how I am. Sometimes I'm unfiltered. I'm trying to change that. Like, I was changing it to be more like kind of hush hush about certain details of things, but it seems to not matter. It seems like even though I've tried to compromise, and that's been a horrific thing for me, because I don't like compromising, but my parents were in danger. It seems like when we speak out, people get hurt, right? It seems like it's just a cluster F, right? And so, like, I was like, well, I'll be quiet and stop making videos and just go to another country and write and do stuff. Maybe write some stories about things with a little bit of a wink to help people in society about it. But they want a huge false flag with me. Like, they want to, like, you have me murdered, or either have me die in my sleep, or act out or something like that. Like, I'm not going to do any kind of violence. I'll just speak out. This is taking a big risk, right? Because I don't want to make y'all's situations harder. I don't want to put out information out there about protocols being used on me, and then these worse protocols start being used on you and your families. But I also can't just lay down and die, right? So if y'all can, if you have money, I'm gonna try. I'll probably just be speaking out, because like with this video, they're gonna be like, well, and the whole time, I've said like, I'll just shut up because y'all are hurting my family, um, and they're like, they don't trust me, right? It's a military mindset, because it's a military slaughter, and they've got like, I mean, they're getting people to hit my magnet. Um, they've got the worst ones. Well, I've got biometrics like all over my body. Like, I have a body area network that is, it fills in like one of my both shoulders, the whole shoulder area and arm like has lead scars down the arm. Like lead scars are these little things that the surgeon put in so EMF can go through it, right? And I don't know what he thought I was, but he did my stomach surgery, and they must have told him something real bad because he dressed me up with biometrics that they are uh, eviscerating me with. And they also use external with the biometrics. It's overboard for even warfare, I think. Like I told the RCMP, sheriff's department, police down here, some of the fire department. I'm going to be speaking out to them. I feel like um, I call it convergent because these people who are on the microwaves, they're like very dark and black, right? And then like I've always wanted to be on the white side, like of justice and just doing what's right. But a convergent thing is, compromising thing would be to get law enforcement more involved in this stuff. Um, Without the private contractors are kind of slaughterers and mercenaries, and they just slaughter people. Seems like when you have police up in there, it gets mitigated a lot. But it seems like the police and sheriff's department, they don't have the clearances that these people do, so they kind of back off. They kind of think that these people are legitimized. And anybody who there's a lot of stuff there to talk about, right? Because I know a lot of you are like, "What are you talking about? Trust the police." But in my journeys, it's been like the police aren't as bad as these private contractors, right? And they can kind of mitigate things and use them for more criminal stuff and not just, medical experiment targets. I don't know, like I'm a little bit desperate because I'm stuck in my house. And I didn't finish my story. My mom's like, got the new car, and I'm like, okay, mom, so that's awesome. I'll go ahead and drive to Baton Rouge because I got to get out of here. No, no, we've got to get the title and everything fixed and set up. So I was like stuck in the back of their place for like 2 extra days, and they just eviscerated me, like the contractors. And they had somebody above me hit me like right in the face and the spine. And then they had somebody like 2 floors down hit me too. And then they had like maybe, who knows, it could be like 5 to 10 remote systems like hitting biometrics. They said they had a lab like doing some of them. Seems like big fields of EMF that activate these biometrics. And there's one, I'll give you an example. There's one like right here on my neck, like around here, and it's like a little bulb. It's like a little kind of like squishy bulb. It's not a microchip or anything, but it's some kind of material like a little squishy bulb. And EMF passes through there and it rings and it goes up to the ear, right? And they have two right here on the top parts of my ear, and then I think on the inside. So they set me up. I mean, I'm like a cell phone, with this body area network with merciless killers, getting so bored and making. They said they make a lot of money, and people love the money, and they don't really even know sometimes that like I'd pass through areas and there'd be so much vehicular stalking, but they said that the people didn't even really know it was like one target. They were doing some kind of scheme where they were saying it was like terrorists in the area, so they're using individual targets to say there's like the Commonwealth or terrorists in the area, and then they run all the gang stalkers to like my point of origin, right, to get me. But people don't even really know who's the target. So it's causing like terrorism fear in the people that are doing the targeting, and then of course we're getting slaughtered, right? And then these contractors, these private contractors in the middle, kind of know what's going on. They're playing both sides and destroying the country, like using individual, like medical experiment targetings. Um, it's massive. Like my situation. So speaking out, I could get killed. Like they're trying to assassinate me. They've said they're gonna murder my family, and they're like, if you just die, we'll leave your family alone. But I'm like, I don't even trust them on that. Like I think if I die, they just go after my family, and I've survived so long. There's a lot of stuff about like a special spiritual thing where I've survived a long time, where their group, and then not just the private contractors, but the secret group that they belong to, thinks there's something special with me, and they've all taken a very curiosity to it because the psychopaths that were torturing me became obsessed with me, and it's grown. There's something big here, and there's something real, right? I'm a Christian. I feel like I'm a Christian. I feel like I'm a Christian and just a person that believes in God, like a God above all realities. Please pray for me and my family. I'll pray for you guys. I'll say a prayer on this. I don't have any of my prayer books, but I've been doing a lot of spiritual warfare. There was, yeah, it's hard to go through. I'll do a video, I promise, of like what happened with the spiritual warfare part of it, because I can't do that mixed with the microwaves, like how bad the microwave torture is, because you put those two on top of each other in this kind of arena, right? And it's just like, wow, you're crazy, dude. Uh, but massive stuff in the spirit, like where my spirit, and what it's connected to in a chain all the way up to the God who created everything, all realities, is fighting for me, defending me when I couldn't defend myself, like the Holy Spirit. And these people see it as something else in their group, in their secret group. They see those things inverted from what a Christian would see the Holy Spirit as. So it's caused major divergent problems between me and the group killing me, because God kind of came into the situation and wanted to help us all. And they tried to like take it and rape it and abuse it and kill me with it and stuff like that, right? So I want them to die. Sorry, that slipped out. It's so bad, dude. It's so bad, guys. And I'm trying to stay upbeat. I'm trying to stay upbeat. I'm not as laughy anymore. It's very dark, and I'm very worried about my parents. I'm very worried about my brother, like my whole family being hurt. I'm worried about the country, the continent, the world, the way that these people act. And they've said some things over B2K about like kind of apocryphal behavior of it's time for the culling and stuff like that. And you would think that me as a targeted individual is saying this, and it's like, well, you're just, they're psyoping you, buddy. They're saying, but there's some people in this world, a lot of them, that believe that it's time for uh, killing a lot of people. And that includes in these people a massive inversion, like a spirit of antichrist. Because what happened here, I've learned a lot about the science of the spirit, and I had a spirit of Christ in me my whole life. Very awesome spirit, strong spirit, protected my brain, protected my heart. That's why I've been so strong and made videos, only because of God's grace, not because of me. I'm a vessel, and I work towards God's glory. But what's happened between me and this group, and it's almost like, when you're around your, like I've said it in other videos, when they have gotten a whiff of this spiritual juice, they flipped it immediately, and it became a spirit of antichrist, and it became a spirit of just selfishness and evil, right? Sapping off of something that's good, and then twisting it, right? And I feel like in society there's this belief that this bad stuff, this inversion of the spirit, this anti spirit of antichrist, some groups and these secret groups, they're taking it at face value, like like they're thinking that beings like want them to do evil and stuff, when it's themselves. It's what's inside of their brain, inside of their dirt bodies, right? Their psychosis, and they think that it's orders from something that hates us, that wants, hey, we'll give you stuff, you kill other people. Now this is a complicated concept, so some people will kind of know what I'm talking about. Some people will be like, dude, I'm not following you at all. but I guess the main point of that is you have a spirit, you have a chain that's connected to the God above all things. Stay on the side of light. Don't go any further than gray, so that you keep your spirit of Christ. Evil people like flip this spiritual energy, and they're trying to feed off of the spiritual energy of good people. They're definitely trying to make protocols with these microwave weapons because there's no checks and balances within the system, and it's not just catching criminals. It's not anything like that. It's butchering people with microwaves, right? But it's taken on even they've gone further because nobody's watching them, and they've started messing with the spirit of people and inverting that and stuff like that, and then thinking that's the way it is, and it's very, very dangerous for our species. Hard to talk about this as like a targeted individual, as somebody being targeted, um, because it's already the baseline stuff, right? The baseline stuff is so crazy. Like, my parents can't buy it. Like, they're being hit by the stuff. They're being hit by the stuff, and they cannot, because there are no tools. Everybody's told if you believe you're being gang stalked or you believe you're being hit with direct energy, you're mentally ill, right? I've gone to hospitals, and I can't go to a hospital in Baton Rouge and get treated for physical injury. Like, and I have damage to my spine. I definitely have. I don't want to say it's incurable brain injury, right? I have concussion and stuff from the microwaves. Like, if they stop torturing me, I can heal up, but it's pretty serious. Like, I need to see a neurologist. I need a spinal doctor. I want to go to some plastic surgeries and plastic surgeons, microsurgeons, to try and get at least the one out of my trachea, because they blast my head and my back, the back of my spine, with the one that's in my trachea. Um, and I'm unsure. Sometimes it's like, is it flowing through there, or is there a biometric there? What the hell is even the biometric? Because some of it, it's not a chip or anything. It's kind of material. It's like nanomaterial, or like pads that pass EMF through, where I'm trying to use a magnet, and it's like the magnet's gonna maybe wear it down, but it's not gonna destroy any circuitry or anything like that. So, and that's what I think the dentists use. The dentist, I think they have like some kind of goo, right, that can pass EMF through it. And I'm like, does the dentist even know, or are they just using some kind of baseline kind of goo with nanotech, and then it can buzz the teeth, right? This is massive. I mean, it's like, exterminating people. So I'm gonna get in trouble for this video probably, but I kind of wanted to say what was going on in my situation. I'm gonna have to keep speaking out now. There's no compromise. Um, I would actually, this is serious, Might as well, right? Might as well tell the truth. I think I'm there, right? But I've tried to compromise because I'm worried about people's lives. I'm worried about y'all. I'm worried about coming on here. I'm worried about saying what I'm saying because I don't want to give your attackers ideas. I don't want to put ideas into y'all's heads if your situation's not that bad. Um, I almost think sometimes just speak generally about this, ask for some money, get out of the country, right? Just get out of the country and shut up, because they'll kill me, right? And they'll hurt my family. But with the people that are attacking me and what I've seen about their psychology, I don't think there's any hope for me to compromise. This is my path, right? Now, your path may be different. You may have some people that are like, we'll let them go if they don't talk or whatever. I would maybe do that. I'd maybe, if your situation isn't that, I would speak out. I think we should all be speaking out, but how dangerous this is, and like how, I mean, the things I've had to survive. And then I have ex-military like gang stalking me, like in my community and like out on the street, and I don't respect them. Like, I respect ex-military, but these guys have no idea. Like, what we've soldiered through, us target individuals, like what I soldiered through up in Canada was like doom world. I mean, it was like armies coming at me, like armies of motorcycle surveillance teams, like ground radar, like baking me in my car, like where I'd peel myself off of the car seat like every morning, like Vietnam or Fallujah. times a million, being like a prisoner of war that's being tortured, like the worst torture you can experience, and surviving that. And all glory to God in that. I sit here and I'm like, this must be what God has, is demanding that I do, because there's no other path. These people are nuts. Like, they're psychotic killers. There are people in here that they're so scared of him. Like, they're scared of this guy. Like I got very unlucky with the contractor, and he built up as I went across the United States. Like, I thought that I was giving them a chance, some slack, and they could let me go, because there were some people in there who didn't want it happening. Right? There were some people who were speaking out against it, even in my contracting group. But it's gotten so heavy with not even just the layer of contracting, but the secret group, that is now like, this one's so big, he's got to be killed. Like, his family's got to be killed, is what they're telling me. I don't know. I don't believe it. I don't believe that a full organization would decide to just slaughter my family because these fuck ups failed and it's too big to fail, right? But sometimes I'm like, well, it seems like that's happening. It seems like there's just carte blanche to bring in like mercenaries into the area that I live in Louisiana, right? There's just, you know, and nobody really knows what's going on. Like, the sheriff's department, I think, kind of learns about it from them, and they lie to the sheriff's department and they say, well, this person's like really dangerous and we've got to do this or that, and they just lie. They lie to law enforcement, right? There's a lot of complication in there, so that's very, very simplifying of a very crazy, dangerous situation. um but the main point of this video, and I'm being long-winded because I guess I'm gonna have to practice some more talking. They're, doing stuff to my heart, up to my trachea all the time, 24 hours a day, 24 hours a day, rape and torture. um it has kind of, sometimes like I'll react and the stuff like in my head, like I'm never gonna hurt myself or others, right? But I've always, like, I didn't know how great my mind was or my heart was until these people started kind of funneling in their darkness. And they brought in like people who aren't just weapon system guys, but like uh they know stuff about the spirit, but on the other side of like what a Christian, what I know, right? Like, it's not a good spirit. They know how they deal with stuff that's like of a very negative spiritual nature, to try and do that along with the weapon systems, right? Because I'm a hard kill, I'm a hard target. And I'm sure a lot of y'all that are watching this are hard targets. I get very worried about talking about this because I don't want y'all, if you have a certain situation that's a certain level, I don't want you thinking, there's more there, or that your targeters like getting more information, or harming you more. But it's like, I gotta speak out, right? I'm an American, I'm an innocent citizen of the world, I'm a servant of God, the highest God, and we have helpers. He sends helpers. This is concrete. It's not, I'm not even saying this at a level of like, well, guardian angels and just kind of airy fairy. This is concrete. We have a higher biology, which we have spiritual, not only spiritual help, but help from God, guardians that are sent to us. Believe it, believe it. If you don't listen to anything else I say, believe that God has sent you a helper. So look inside of yourself and look up, right? Look inside of yourself and look up. You do have spiritual help. You have physical help. You're not alone. You're never alone. You're never alone. And don't take that as like the targeters, right? The V2K, they're always parasitically hooked to me. So I'm sure some of you guys experience this, men and women. You have good help with you forever. Like, God has provided that. And we sometimes go through life, right? And it's subtle and it's instinctual, and we don't know that it's there. It kind of just seems like us, right? And we pray to God, but these are times where, especially in my situation, this has been shaken. Like, this just congruence of the spirit in me and God's help, and it's become like very, very concrete, uh, that God has guardians for us, right? Um, I'll explain this more. This is hard stuff to talk about on top of the microwave stuff because this is new. Like the understanding of the spirit in mankind is new because of like the bad stuff going on, right? Y'all have seen the fires out in California, right? And big stuff. A very dangerous apocryphal philosophy in major systems, major global systems, like people in major global systems that are killing families that believe it's the time of the harvest or whatever the kind of shit they're fucking thinking, whatever the twisted, inverted spirit of Antichrist has told them, right? That they think is just the way things are. That's added on to like sophisticated asymmetrical like brain mapping and playing with weapons where these people on this contract are doing it to me. They're so stupid. They don't know anything about this stuff. Like they shouldn't be on these weapon systems, right? So it's dangerous to our species. And I see, I get worried about what's going to happen to our species, not even just our country, not even just my family, right? Not even just to me. And I thought, like, my whole life, I was like, I'm going to be doing something good for humanity. I'm going to be helping me first. I'm going to, like, heal myself from Crohn's or whatever's going on. And I'm going to help my family. And then I'm going to, help the world. I'm going to help my community. And things are going to get better. But with how big these things are, I kind of look out in the world. I'm like, we've got to heal each other and do the best we can. Um, but it's big. It's big, and we've got to trust in God. We've got to trust in God to have a plan. Uh, and I've learned a lot about fractals, like doing this, like human fractals, and a lot of people have been affected by like my targeting situation because these people have these weapons and they contractors and vehicular stalkers and community stalkers and everything like this, and people get roped into it. And this core, this centrifuge of the targeting opens up into a fractal that's been happening a whole life, right? And I really see the hope that I see is that the God above all things and the God that watches over us can kind of flip these fractals that have blackened, right? They've turned evil, and um, there's a way that he can shift things. So never lose hope. I am very depressed and like anxious. Just being constantly tortured all the time, losing things. It makes me kind of see the population in the United States and the situation in a depressed, dark way. So don't do that. Believe in God, believe in His glory, believe in His mercy. Also believe in His wrath. And this isn't to targeted individuals. This is to the people targeting us. God has infinite mercy, but at a certain point, His wrath is going to pour on you. And this is talking to the people microwaving innocent families and stuff like that. God's not going to let you go. Like, you're going to have to pay for this. Um, so let me just end it with that. And that's going to be a big thing in my life. I am a messenger. Like, I feel like because of what's happened to me in my life, this certain situation, because of how much my guardian angel has tried to help me at risk, at risk, because a lot of these secrets in societies, right? If you know too much, you are a danger, right? And they're trying to protect knowledge, which is blasphemous because they're not. Um, but the way that my guardian angel has protected me, even to a point of like getting in trouble, because the contractors see something different, right? Or they see something unique, and then it's like, oh, we're experimenting, and we'll go to your brother, right? They're threatening to like, oh, your family must have something about them, right? So God's really, really working, right? He knows what humanity's going through, and He's sending help. And I'll be working on that. I have a vision for how to get people more help in the world with small groups. But I don't have, like, I need a group. Like, these people that are torturing me, they've brought in a lot of people and a lot of hatred against me, and there's a lot of energy. There's a world energy when everybody hates you, right? So targeted individuals are having stuff, a spirit of their logical mind that's being ripped from them because they're isolated and stuff like that. And these people, like, I socialize and I'll go out. I mean, any y'all know the targeting thing, but they try and just tell everybody you're like a baby killer before you can even become friends with people, right? Um, or whatever kind of rumor they have about you, and that's very important. Like, for a congruent um, brain, heart, a convergent spirit, it's important that we socialize, that we have people that believe in us, right? My parents don't believe, they don't trust me, and I've been fighting a war. Like, I've survived things that nobody else could, right? I'm probably speaking to a lot of you target individuals. Like, I've survived stuff that nobody could understand, and people look down on me and think I'm a burden, right? And I'm trying my best for something that happened to me when I was a kid, and then these contractors are trying to abuse it. Um, so I like this video. I'm kind of just talking to y'all. It's very dangerous what I'm saying, um, but they're trying to kill me anyway. So, and I'll admit it. I tried to compromise. And Kyle Sladen, I said my last name. Who cares? I don't really care. Let him find me. Um, Kyle saying I tried to compromise is a huge thing. It means this is like the most dangerous fucking thing in the fucking world, because I don't compromise to evil, right? But when evil's like has a gun to everybody's head in my family, and like I'm worried about you guys out there, and I feel like if I speak out, I'm just gonna get us all in trouble, right? Because like I speak out a certain way where it's like certain people and groups are just like, this, we're trying to like not let anybody know anything and smother our babies in their crib and just kill everybody. It gets real dangerous. The truth gets real dangerous. Anything that can help people is going to be seen as like uh extremism, reason, intelligence, real information that can help people is going to be seen as that thing needs to be killed, because they're doing so many awful, false flags and huge world things. Very excited that Trump got in. I watched half of the Joe Rogan Trump interview, and I'm going to start communicating to our president. I'm going to start communicating to him and like try and maybe even meet him. I'm sure he's experienced some of this spiritual stuff where they're doing Kabbalic rituals and trying to like steal parts. They really are. They're trying to siphon and sap energy from people with a lot of light in them, which is weird because there's some groups that purport to worship the light of the mind. Like, I'm a Christian, so I worship God as light, right? God is life and light. But there's some groups that say that they worship the light of the mind, yet they try and destroy people who have a lot of it. I don't know, inverted. It's very inverted, right? This is obvious stuff. Like, our society has turned evil. People don't know what they're doing. Their minds are rotted, and they're not communicating with the spirit and stuff. These people have seen like a powerful Christian me, and they think that it's some sort of like they're like, what are we even looking at, right? And I could show you like 100,000 Christians in the world that are like super powerful, because they believe in a God above all things. And it's dangerous what these people looking into brains and not even understanding like what they are. They're like the worst human beings ever, like devolved animals, and they're like, what are we even looking at? Somebody's brain. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a real tangent, and I'm like insulting the people targeting me. There's a lot of people targeting me. There's a lot of people in here surveilling me. My mom's in the other room, so I'm kind of trying to be quiet. This is one. This is God. I'm saying like specifics. I said my last name. I'm sure people can get my last name from my videos, so that's not too big of a screw up. It's not. This is not careful at all. This is like, but yeah, she's in the other room. Like, like would not bring her new car. Like I was like, I'll drive this car and you drive your car, and then I'm gonna have to be like, my dad's birthday is Thursday, so I'm gonna be stuck in here for like a couple of days. I think I'm gonna drive out in the car, but like when she gave me the car. I love my mom. I love my parents. They're great. They're great. And I don't want to ever speak bad about them, but the like what they're being affected with these microwaves, people can put a thought in somebody's head that doesn't know they're mind controlled, and they'll stick to that thought. And like my dad was like, no, you're not going to take that, you're not going to drive the car, because what if you get, he was saying this, he was like you're not going to drive. And my mom like kind of backs down. She's always kind of been the decision maker about stuff like that, but it's weird, it's just weird. But he's like, if you drive that car from Pensacola to Baton Rouge, if you get into a wreck with somebody, they could sue us for like everything that we have. So my dad's going through something. Like I've told him about like what's happening to me, and I think he's being hit with stuff. But I think that he's like, he's not listening to me about what I said in the past. He's like, he thinks they're trying to steal money from us. Like he thinks that my family's maybe being attacked so that money can be stolen from us. It's really bad because like he almost got murdered by this stuff, 10 years ago. So this is talking out, putting this video out puts my family in danger, but I don't see another way. It's so serious, guys. Like it's so serious for me. I always try and kind of like lighten things up because I feel like that's how we get through things. But this is major. Like I mean, this is military. It's military slaughter. My family. So if you can help, I mean, if you're on the other side even, and you know about this stuff, like I'm not a criminal. I didn't do anything. I tried to get away from this stuff. The contractors made a fucking mess. They made a mess, and they made it as big as they could because they were trying to kill me up in Canada. And then it's like they made it to a level where they're like, we can never let you go, right? You're gonna have to die, and we're gonna come, like my parents. And I'm not gonna say the area where my mom has a place, but it's like a very countrified area. Like it's an area where it's hunters. It's like hunters and kind of country people, and they're going in there and laying down groundwork, infrastructure for targeting over there, and like putting ground weapons into people's hands in this kind of podunk place. And I'm very concerned because my brother lives there. My mom has a place there, and like my family's completely just like ignore this, right? And I'm thinking about how like when I was targeted, how long it took me to become like I know kind of what's going on, right? It took me years. Like I like knew something was happening, but I was like, oh well, I'll just ignore it, or I'll go to the police, or I'll put tinfoil on my head or something like that. It took me a long time to like seriously know, right? Um, it's so dangerous. Like this is so like it's warfare. I don't know what else to do. I know that people will look at this video, they'll be like, you're done, you're fucking stupid for speaking out. Excuse my language. But it seems to be the only thing I can do. It seems like I want to speak out like about how serious this is and make a go at it. If this vessel dies, know though that if this vessel dies, guys, if my body dies, I'll be there for you guys. I'll be the king of the guardian angels for y'all. And I'll have some payback on these evil people. Um, but I don't know. It seems like it's not killing me. It's just kind of um, constant injury. And they really have to stay on it. They have to stay on it. I'm gonna try and be more positive about that because I'm super depressed, super anxious. The stuff does stuff to your head, and these guys that they've got on there are super psychotic, and it's like they're mixing their brains with mine. And they do that. I think they do that to my dad. Like, and he goes through so much, and I think he thinks that what he went through. Yeah, that gets complicated. But the neuro weapons and these guys on them are psychotic, and like when they sit there and like are parasited to me for so long, it's like Ugh. I've never known that human beings could have such dirt, like such just crap in their heads, you know. I'm laughing because it's so bizarre. Uh, it's so bizarre and scary. It's scary. I've never been a scared person. Like I've never had fear in my life. Like I live with trusting in God that like however bad it gets, you know, Crohn's disease or whatever, it'll work out. And people will get a lesson out of it, and at the worst, you know, something bad will happen, and we'll learn from our failures. But this one, how far it's gone, I'm scared. Like I'm scared for you guys. I'm scared for my family. I'm scared for me. I'm scared for our relationship with, you know, the Holy Spirit, our chain of life, our guardians, other life. In reality, I'm scared for humanity because I see a lot of darkness, right? I feel a lot of darkness from what's happening to me, and it's scary. I think that's one thing that I didn't expect. I never expected to, or maybe I felt fear in a different way. And I was like, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of this, right? I'm gonna fight it. I fight. I'm a fighter, survivor. But this is dark shit. Like this is like these, like you know, I taught, you know, I've called the sheriff's department out here a bunch of times, and it's always like they know about electronic warfare, but I'm always like I'm the one, like I, you know, they this. Let me just say this, and I'll end it. But you know, the sheriffs came out because the people upstairs like said I was harassing them. They're shooting stuff at me and surveilling me. They won't answer their door just so I can do a walkthrough and put my mind at ease. I'm not harassing them at all. I talked to the guy once and I was like, hey man, I'm not accusing you, but like I have a problem with electronic warfare. It's like weird harassment, and just nobody's asked you to do anything like that, right? I just want to like communicate with people. That's what I, when I talk to people, or the sheriff's department. I talked to the sheriff's department in Pensacola, and he seemed to know about it, but he wasn't going to tell me anything about it. It made it worse for 2 days. Like I don't know why that happened. I thought it would mitigate it. I thought people would get kind of worried about, it. But I say you know, I just want to communicate. Um, kind of forgot my point there. Um, kind of forgot my point there, but it's a good thing when if you need to talk to anybody, not saying talking to target individuals in our groups, but if you're talking to authorities, to be like, I just want to communicate. I don't know if you're going to be able to help me. Maybe that's not strong enough, right? But I feel like if you go too strong and you're like, I need help for this, and you need to do something, then they just, you know, chunk in a you know, mental institution. But the like I had called the sheriff's department out a couple of times over here. I've called the FBI a couple of times, DHS, making the calls, right? And I'm about to get a lawyer. I'm about to have to get a lawyer. I'm gonna have to back up. And I guess I'll just say the contractors' names that I've heard: Bandwidth LLC and La Zona Rosa. And then I've heard names too over the V2K, but I'm not going to put them out. But Bandwidth LLC and La Zona Rosa are two names I've heard. I think they've stolen money from my parents. Like they've stolen money out of my account. People have tried to charge things, and I want to get that charge on my debit card. When I was up in the Northeast Territories of Canada, somebody put a charge on my card from Drone Tech Technologies. But I don't think that my attackers who are microwaving me are specifically working for Drone Tech Technologies, or just like something like that. I need to get the specific name. I need to get those specific names because I don't do that enough, and just put the details out, right? If I'm going to do this, I need to do it. And I'm not good at that. Like I kind of slapdash things, and now it's like coming down. It's coming down to it. And I think I'm going to have to get out of the country, you know. So the point of this video, this long thing, and I just did want to talk to y'all about things, and I think I'm going to keep talking. I don't have wireless in my condo. I've made two other videos and I didn't put them out, but I'm gonna go ahead and go somewhere where I can upload this. I should have done it in Pensacola because my parents have Wi-Fi. Here we don't have Wi-Fi because I didn't plan on staying here too long. But but yeah, like I hope y'all are doing good. And the main point of this video to beg of you guys, if any of you have some extra money, you're working and you're able to, please donate to my PayPal account, paypal.me / Vulcan Wolverine. I would just appreciate it so much because I kind of need to, like, my mom, she's been, building stuff. She just gave me a car, so my parents like really helped me. I love them, but I spent a lot of money up in Canada, um, like trying to survive. It's so expensive up there. Like, so to stay in hotel rooms, excuse me, to stay in hotel rooms or like even buy food, it was like super expensive up in Canada. So they've, you know, it's in their heads. It's in their heads that you spent a lot of money and you didn't get away from it up there. Almost like at Eagle Plains, like I had gotten away from it. No rain in the ears, no pain. And then they held me over for a month for those tires. Like they called the guy at the mechanic shop, and I guess the people on me, the contractors on me, they sound really professional and stuff like that. I think they have some of the girls in the group that are nicer and don't really want to go on. They do that part. They call people and they have this exterior of like legitimacy, right? And the guys that are animals kind of don't make the calls or something like that. They've got some setup where they seem legitimate, but then the chewy center of their group are like these psychopaths that just want to kill and rape. Very bold, evil in our country. But we know this. We've been fighting it for a long time. It's just kind of coming down to it. My body's really tired. I have kind of healed up. I've been able to heal up, kind of like Wolverine all the time. But they stay on me. They're hitting, very fragile parts of the body. Um, the it's hard to heal them up real fast. Like they'd have to stop torturing me for a time to kind of heal up some stuff. I mean, I'm gonna heal with the power of God. And I'll make some more videos, like kind of with, uh, some of my spiritual writing and stuff like that. And I'm gonna try and write as much as I can, speak out as much as I can. This wasn't the initial plan, especially after what happened in Canada and Cancun. Because my parents have helped me my whole life, and they kind of just they want some trouble to go away in this, and like I've been speaking out about this for so many, like a decade, right? So it wasn't the initial plan to keep speaking out and do this. I was going to shut up. I was going to shut up and just, buy some time, like a year or two. I haven't spoken out like in about a year or two or something like that. It's been about a year or two. Intermittent videos and stuff like that. I see a lot of targeted individuals, like new faces and stuff, and it's become a very legitimate topic, online. But the news is not going to report anything that's important in society. We passed that time. Um, Maybe at a certain point when it fits the agenda, of the people who own our country. That's why I'm gonna be speaking. I'm gonna be trying to write Donald Trump and see if maybe he responds to me about this. If he, because we know he's experienced a lot of targeting with the court cases and everything like that. I just sometimes wonder. I'm like, are they hitting him with microwaves? I know they're doing like spiritual stuff to him. Like you got probably a lot of people who think they're witches and stuff and Satanists doing a lot of spiritual stuff. But I always wonder if he's being hit by microwaves. I never took, you know, until the last couple of years, I didn't take like witchcraft and covens and Satanism seriously at all. Like I didn't. I was like, it's the microwaves, it's technology, the spiritual warfare part. I thought it was good to strengthen us psychologically, and that's how God strengthened us. But I uh, never knew it was so serious. Never knew it was so real, so concrete, right? Um, but now I do. And the light side is super strong too. I'm like an individual against armies of people who kind of chose the other side. There's some people even in the groups against me that like they're like, we want spiritual goodness. We don't want, we want to like, they've been trying to kind of help me, but like I'm too tired or I don't have money to get out, and you know, they try and throw a bone sometimes for their karma, right? And more than that, like it's been way more than that I couldn't speak to right now. It's been way more than that. from people on both sides. So, and that's true, and that's true, and I never pay heed to that. There's people involved in this. How dark it's gotten for me, I sometimes now I'm glossing over it, right? Um, and that sucks. That sucks because there have been people that have really tried to mitigate the situation because they understand it's a big cluster F, and it's not good for their lives, and they know I'm not a bad person, right? They're just trying to actually work for those contractors in a legitimate way, but the guys that have all the pull and have the carte blanche with the other groups, animals, like animals, and they want a false flag and they want to kill families and stuff like that. So they pushed it. Um, all right, guys, I've been kind of rambling on for an hour. I love y'all. Please, if you can, please, 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 if you can donate, because I would just use that money. I'm either gonna, take the car that my mom graciously gave me. I love my mom. Please, God bless her. Um, in up in Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, pretty good, pretty good. Not didn't go away, right? Mount Shasta was really good. I'll go over a video of like the places that I went where it seemed to kind of tone down because of mountain ranges around, or just areas where the people just don't use targeting a lot. Like they just don't have areas of high crime and they don't want it like in their communities. Um, but I don't know. It depends on the financial thing. Like if I can get out of the country, and I don't know if they're going to stop me when I try and go out of the country because I went to Cancun in Canada, but how big they've made my target, I'm not sure what they flagged me with, and police won't tell me. Like they're just like you're fine, and then the contractors torture me and people lie about me in the community and say like I'm a huge I'm gonna bomb everybody to death or something like that. I can't believe that police aren't allowed when you go up to them and say, is there any flagging on me that could be dangerous to my life, right? That people are saying stuff about me that I need to clear up. It's like it seems like police can't even tell you that, and that is disastrous. That is like completely illegitimate, goes against all human rights. And I would say that's one thing they need to change. That if these contractors are flagging us for things like FISA flags, FISA court things, that police need to at least be able to tell us, hey, these people say you're gonna bomb someplace. We need to sit down and talk, right? Um, yeah, I think they'd at least need to do that. All right, guys, I'm like at an hour and 20 minutes. I love y'all. Like, I hope y'all are doing good. Um, I love y'all so much. I'm praying for y'all. Please pray for my family. I'll pray for y'all's. I'm not gonna. I was about to start crying at the end of this because this is serious. Like these people after me, they're killers. Like they're ice cold fucking killers. And like making this video, they always are like, "Don't make a video, don't make a video," because there's a lot of very serious power mixed up in my little targeting situation, right? I mean, families like mine, if families like mine are being pressured this much with military uh, kind of false flags and these weapons, I don't see another way. Like, I don't see anything else but to speak out. Like, and that's a scary time in our country. So I was about to start crying because I had to make this video. I love you guys. I'll definitely see you on the next one because if I put this one out, there we go. I'm gonna have to roll with it. All right, I love y'all. See y'all on the next one. God bless you. I'll maybe try and make a short video like with some spiritual stuff because God is guiding me through this. Um, my guardian angel is guiding me through this. There's been some stuff with that is just downright like catastrophically apocryphal of like what these people think they've done in the group. They think they've taken my like Holy Spirit, like my infinite self. Like they say that on the thing and it's not a psyop. Like it's not a psyop on their side. I know they haven't, but like they like really think that. Like the guys on the contractor. Like so they're insane. they're insane and they're dipping into stuff that like we haven't even discovered yet in the right ways. That's very, very concrete biological, but we think of it as spiritual, right? Um, Very dangerous, and the people doing it are very dangerous. They're not smart enough to be doing it, and they're not even mentally balanced enough to even be speaking on stuff that they're doing. So, all right, guys, I will see you on the next one. I